Here are the top 10 things that you need to ask yourself and your agent when you're thinking about buying new construction in San Diego this year. And you are going to want to stick around for number 8 because I promise you it is not something that you thought of. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Spade at Keller Williams Realty, and I make all these videos to help you make sense of the real estate market. Do me a huge favor. Please click on that subscribe button. Also, click that little bell so you can be notified every single time we drop fresh new content. And then do me a favor. Please like and comment and share this video with someone that you think might benefit from it. So you are thinking about taking a look at new construction properties throughout San Diego County. Here are the 10 things that you should be asking yourself. Now, there's a lot of things to consider when buying new construction, and it's important because it's a little bit different than a resale transaction. So let's go over those 10 questions you should be asking and kind of go in depth a little bit about each one. The first question you want to ask is how long has the builder been in business and how long have they been building in the area? Now, here's a couple things about San Diego County. One, we are pretty much out of space to build. Unless you are going to the super East County or really far north, there's really not a lot of land to build on. So there's a lot of infill projects. Now, there are a lot of big developers like Lennar or Toll Brothers or things like that, D.R. Horton. They've been around San Diego for a long time and they've actually built a lot of projects. So they're some of the more reputable names that you may have heard of. But with these infill projects in San Diego where you see these lots that have been sold and maybe 6 units going up or 7 units going up, you really want to know how long has that developer been doing it and how long have they been building in the area, because some of the smaller developers might be coming in thinking they can just throw a product up and it might not be as quality that some of the other developers are used to. I can tell you I had a friend buy new construction from a smaller developer and didn't do an inspection, but we'll go over that in a second. And there ended up being a myriad of problems down the road. So you just want to know how long has that developer been building in San Diego and how long they've been in business. Here's an important one. Can the builder provide references of at least 3 past clients? Now, typically, you're going to want to have your own agent go with you when you are buying new construction. As a matter of fact, you're going to want that all the time because keep in mind the agents that work in the sales office work for the developer. They do not work for you. So you want someone who has your back. So what you're going to want is a reference of 3 people that have done business with the developer, because I tell you and I promise you, those homeowners are going to sing and they're going to tell you everything that you want to know about the experience they had with the developer. And trust me, they are going to tell you everything good, but they're going to tell you everything bad, and they're going to tell you what to watch out for, and they're going to tell you if they knew when, they may not have done whatever X. So just ask for 3 references. That's also very important. The next question you're going to want to ask is what are the standard and what are the upgraded finishes? Now, typically when you go into a model home, that is the home typically where the sales office is, those are going to be the high-end upgraded units that they're showing you. And then when you go back to the design center, usually the offices, if you're buying, for example, a townhome, let's say, usually the design center and the offices are downstairs in the garage area, and then they will convert that last unit back to a garage once they sell all the other units. But that's where the design center is. Usually that's the most upgraded unit. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna see all the choices of tile, carpet, upgrades, backsplashes, paints, light fixtures, you name it, you're gonna see it over there. You want to know what comes standard and what is extra, so that way you know exactly how much you're going to spend. Is the price that's advertised for the standard package, or is that the upgraded package? Now, in some cases, you might get a deal on an upgraded unit if someone made the purchase of a property and they lost their earnest money deposit because they backed out for whatever reason and the property had already been upgraded. So then you will probably walk in to get a little bit better of a deal with that. But chances are you just really need to anticipate that the price they're advertising is for the standard package. It also may be cheaper for you to just purchase the home with the standard package and go in and upgrade it later to what you want and the taste that you want. That might be cheaper. It's a little bit more of a hassle because you have to go in and tear up the floor or repaint the place or do whatever it is you want to do. But just keep that in mind. Timing. You want to know what the timeline is for each building phase. Now, I promise you, if they tell you it's going to take another 3 months, it'll probably take 6 months. So you want to time it, especially if you have to sell your home to make the purchase of this new property. So you want to make sure that the timing is on schedule. I always tell people, anticipate doubling the timing. If they say it's a year out, anticipate it for being 2 years. So for example, we are coming off a really rainy winter and a really rainy spring right now. This early part of spring has been really rainy, which stops construction. So construction halts when it's raining, and then there's lots of stuff because you're using dirt. It's got to dry out before they can start doing all the other work and moving on with the work. So you just want to know what the timing is. Anticipate if we've had a really wet winter, that's going to push your timeline out. There's nothing they can really do about that because you can't control Mother Nature. So you just want to ask what the timing is, and like I said, add probably another 3 to 4 months. Ask if you are allowed to have an inspection on your home. Now, typically you're going to want to do this right before you close. Now, this is the one time that your agent that's representing you is not allowed to come to the property. A representative from the company, not the agent, so a representative of the builder, will come in with you and walk you through your whole property. They're going to hand you a roll of tape, and with that tape, you're going to blue tape everything that you see that you need to have fixed. For example, touch-up paint or maybe a loose switch plate, whatever it is, you're going to be flagging those, okay? The developer then will go through there and make those repairs, but you gotta be careful because a lot of times, honestly, this is the shady thing about new construction. Sometimes they'll just go through there and they'll just take those pieces off. But you really want to get a home inspection on new construction because you want to make sure that it is of quality. I've heard way too many horror stories where people buy new construction, did not do a home inspection, and they regretted it down the road because there were a lot of things that happened in the home between the time they closed until within the first 2 years. Now, the good news is most of that stuff has a 10-year fit and finish warranty on it, but still, if you can prevent it in the beginning and know what you're getting into, that's always good. Developers don't always like home inspectors, especially independent home inspectors, coming in to do evaluations for buyers, but I highly recommend it. I think it is super, super important. As I just mentioned, warranties. Are there any warranties with the property? Like I said, typically there's a 10-year fit and finish warranty. So what happens is within year 0 to year 1, the developer will fix anything that happens in the property. And then they have typically a brand new home warranty program that goes from year 2 to 10. And so if there's anything that's wrong with the property in those 8 years, then the home warranty company will come out and fix it. Typically that home warranty company is usually American Home Shield. They're a pretty good home warranty company. They'll come out and take care of all that stuff, but you just want to make sure if there's any warranties or guarantees along with it. Also, the statute of limitations of filing a lawsuit against an HOA is 10 years. I guarantee you, if you live in California, pretty much a lawyer is going to be coming knocking on the HOA's door and want to file a lawsuit against the developer, so just be aware of that. If there's a lawsuit that's filed against the developer in that time, then you're going to have a hard time selling your unit. So you want to make sure that there are going to be no lawsuits when you go to sell the property. So you really want to buy a good product, which is a good reason why you should get a home inspection on the property. Is the landscaping included? Now, a lot of times, like I said, you're going to go into that design model, you're going to see a beautiful yard, and you're going to go into the backyard of your new home, and it's just going to be dirt and gravel. So what you want to know is the landscaping included in the price? Chances are it's probably not, especially if you're buying a townhome with little yards in the back. You're going to have to landscape that on your own, so that's something that you're going to have to budget for down the road. So just keep that in mind, that landscaping likely will not be included. So it's just going to be one of those things that you're going to want to budget for, but just check, you never know, it might be. And again, that's something that you're going to want to check as you go through your walkthrough. Here's the 8th thing, and this is the one thing I know you didn't think about. Is there a specific lot size, and do you pay a lot premium for something like a corner lot? Typically, in most cases, the sales office is going to have what's called a lot premium. So depending on where your lot is, where you're purchasing, there's going to be a premium for it. For example, a corner lot is typically going to cost you more than it is if you had an interior unit, let's say, because you're getting a little bit more space on that corner lot. So you want to know, am I paying a lot premium for this property? Another thing you're going to want to ask about is, are there any incentives? Now, typically, right now, builders are buying down home rates, which is good. So we're in the high 6s right now for home rates, and they're buying them down into the 5s. They're giving a closing cost credit. Sometimes they're paying your HOA fees. So these are the things that you're going to want to know about. Are there any incentives that the developer is offering? This is important because you might not have to come through with all the money that you would have needed on the regular purchase. Just keep in mind, typically if they're offering rate buy downs or anything like that, they're going to want you to use their preferred lender. So like, for example, if it's KB Homes, KB has a home loan program and their own lenders that they will finance you through to give you those incentives. Keep in mind that you do not have to use them, but in order to get the incentives associated with the property, then they're going to require that you do that, because in the sale of real property, the seller can dictate the lender, and that goes true for a resale purchase as well. So just keep that in mind. And the final question you're going to want to ask is the developer aware of any major projects that are going to be going on near that development in, like, say, the next 5 or 10 years. So for example, let's say you're buying a community, wherever this community is, we'll just call it Shea Vista. It's not a real community, but let's just call it that for fun. Let's say you're buying in Shea Vista and the developer knows about a cemetery that's about to go across the street but doesn't tell you about that. That is important. That's a material fact. So make sure you ask, does the developer know about any capital projects that are going on near the property? Like, is a landfill going in? Is a cemetery going in? Do they plan on adding a freeway exit over there? These are all important things that you're going to want to know about, so make sure you ask that question. So tell me what you think in the comments below. What other questions do you think you should ask a developer when you are going to go buy new construction? If you would like to go take a look at homes or schedule a consultation with me, all my information is in the description below. You can also click the calendar link and book a call with me, or we can get on Zoom or meet in person in my office as well. Whatever you like, I would like to do it. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Please don't forget to give me a like, comment, and share, and I'll see you in the next one.